Have you ever looked at a wall and noticed a thin, jagged line creeping across the surface? It is a sight that causes instant worry. Is the building about to collapse, or is it just a natural part of aging? Today, we explore why buildings crack and when to worry. In engineering terms, a crack is a separation of the material caused by stress. It is a sign that the structure is struggling with tension. Concrete is incredibly strong under compression, but it is surprisingly weak when pulled apart. When the tension exceeds its strength, the material eventually fractures. One of the most common causes is shrinkage. As wet concrete dries, it naturally loses volume and starts to contract internally. This often results in small, random spiderweb patterns on the surface. While they look concerning, these plastic shrinkage cracks are usually just cosmetic. Buildings also react to the environment. They expand in the heat and contract when it cools down, a process known as thermal movement. Without proper expansion joints to allow for this movement, the roof slab will push against the walls, creating horizontal cracks at the joints. Structural overloading is a more serious issue. This happens when a building is forced to carry more weight than it was originally designed for. In these cases, you might see wide diagonal cracks near the supports. These indicate that the beam is failing and requires immediate professional attention. Foundation settlement is perhaps the most dreaded cause. It occurs when the soil beneath the house shifts or settles unevenly. This differential settlement pulls the building in different directions. You will often notice diagonal cracks forming around the corners of door and window frames. Poor construction practices can also lead to early failure. Using a bad concrete mix or insufficient water during the curing process weakens the structure. Furthermore, if the reinforcement bars are exposed to moisture, they will rust and expand, forcing the surrounding concrete to flake and crack off. So, how do you diagnose these cracks? Hairline cracks are usually harmless. Vertical cracks often point to shrinkage or minor thermal movement. Horizontal cracks, or those that are wider than 5 mm, are the real red flags. If you can fit a pencil inside the crack, it is time to act. Look for other warning signs like jammed doors, sloping floors, or windows that no longer close properly. These suggest significant structural movement. If you see these red flag signs, do not wait. Consult a qualified structural engineer immediately to assess the integrity of your building. Understanding the cause is the first step toward a solution. From shrinkage to settlement, knowing what to look for keeps your home safe. Thank you for watching. For more engineering insights and solutions, subscribe to Kussitta CENG Solutions and leave your questions in the comments below. Kussitta CENG Solutions, engineering made simple and practical.